Hi, I'm Glen Rose. Yes, the same Glen Rose that you see in that video over there called Play Jazz with Just Six Chords, Gateway to Jazz Guitar. Now, if you're not familiar with that video, just look over here in the right-hand part of your screen and you're going to see an eye with a little circle around it. Well, just click on that eye, a drop-down menu will appear that will link you right over to that video because it's got information you're going to need that'll help you understand what I'm going to talk about here. I'm going to show you how you can use the three-chord major jazz pattern to create a cycle of jazz chords that's common to all jazz players. And after I explain it, I'll show you some popular songs that use it so you can see how you can put it to use for your own creativity and improvisations. In the Play Jazz with Six Chords video, I talked about moving the three-chord major jazz pattern anywhere you like on the neck, playing it as a three-chord pattern or a two-chord pattern. Well, here we're going to look at this organized jazz cycle. Okay, now let me show you what this jazz cycle is all about. Let's have a review of our three-chord major jazz pattern. Start up here on fret 5. Three-chord pattern using the A shapes. First chord, second chord, third chord. There's our three-chord major jazz pattern. No matter what rhythm you use, any rhythm you want to use. Now, if you want more definition about the chords and what strings I'm holding down, fingering suggestions, just click on that little eye in the right-hand part of the screen, and you'll get linked over to the Play Jazz with Just Six Chords, where everything's explained in great detail. We're going to take our three-chord jazz pattern in the A shapes and move it down the neck in a very logical and symmetrical pattern. And we're going to make a big circle and end up back where we started. Let's start up on fret 9. Just to have a starting place, we can start anywhere. I'm going to start here on fret 9 and play the three-chord pattern. Now, wherever I end up, where my index finger is, I'm going to convert it into the first chord of the major pattern and play it again. And I'll do the same thing here. Wherever the index finger is, come back and build the first chord and continue down. And keep going. Now, when we get here, we go, and we're out of space. We've run out of frets, so we've got nowhere to go here. So what we have to do is go way up to fret 11 to get the last chord up here. And the reason for that is because, of course, everything duplicates on the guitar 12 frets up. So you can play this pattern on fret 13. If you went way up here, it's kind of hard. You don't normally really want to do that. And you end up here with the last chord on fret 11. So what we're going to do is play it and jump way up here. And then continue on. And we've ended up back on fret 9. So we've made one big circle. We've played the jazz pattern 6 different times. So it's a jazz cycle that has 6 patterns and it leads you back right to where you started. I'll play it again, and this time put a little rhythm into it to make it sound musical. I think I'll start on fret 7 this time. 1, 2, 3, ah. That's twice. Here's the third time. Now the fourth time, I'm way down here, and I've got to jump way up. This time. And now the 6th time. And I am back up on fret 7, right where I started. Now what's happening with the jumping up thing and getting way up here on the neck is because I'm just using the A shape major jazz patterns. Now when you get the whole lesson, you get the video lesson of the book, then you learn the second set of shapes. It's the B shape. So that means you don't have to jump up here. You can keep everything kind of in the middle of the neck or down low. So we have 2 sets of shapes, just like you have 2 sets of chords everywhere. Like when you just play a simple A chord here, you can also play it up here on fret 5. So it's the same deal. You got an E chord here, you can play it up here on fret 7. So it's the same thing. We've got our set of shapes in A and our set of shapes in B, so we can play them in any place we want to. But we're starting with just the A shapes because it keeps it real logical, makes it real simple to show you, and I don't have to confuse it by putting any other set of shapes. But you'll probably want to get your hands on those. So there it is, an interesting jazz cycle of chords. And now how can you use it to any benefit? Well, if you're into playing standards at all, it helps a lot because you can spot how the jazz cycle is used in different spots and standards, and it makes learning the tunes a lot easier. Now, it doesn't get used in its entirety going through 6 sets of chords like that. It usually gets used just maybe one time. You'll see the cycle dropping down and repeating itself in the new place, and you go, aha, so there's the cycle, and it helps you learn the song. If it's a standard or whatever song, helps you learn it a lot more easily because you see the cycle in use. Some songs use it 3 times, and that's quite interesting, 3 descending patterns. There's only one song that I know of that uses all 6 major patterns of the jazz cycle. It's a song by Michael Franks called Down in Brazil, a lovely song. We're going to be taking a look at that to see how he uses it. There's another song called How High the Moon that Les Paul made famous in the early 1950s. You might be familiar with that song. Les Paul, of course, is one of the innovators of the electric guitar. So we'll be taking a look at those and some others as well in the lesson that follows this one. Now, learning standards and seeing how the cycle works in standards may not be of any interest to you, I know that. But if you have interest in the jazz chords and the jazz patterns that I talk about in the Play Jazz with Just 6 Chords video, then you may find this information interesting because for your own creativity, when you're trying to write something and you want to get an authentic jazzy sound. Okay, that's a wrap, the end of the lesson. I hope you found it interesting.